Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's a big one. We're just a couple weeks out from a massive update for our favorite action RPG, and there's a ton to unpack. Picture this: new ascendancies, shiny gear, fresh skills, and brace yourselves, a full server reset. Yep, everything's hitting the refresh button, and I've got thoughts. We're diving into what's coming, what it means for your characters, and some spicy predictions about where this patch might take us. Let's jump right in. First things first, the reset. In about 2 or 3 weeks, let's call it mid to late March, this game's flipping the table. Every character you've got, all that gear you've hoarded, it's not disappearing. Don't panic. It's just sliding over to what I'll call the Legacy Lounge, a server where your old heroes can kick back and sip virtual coffee. Meanwhile, a shiny new server fires up and everyone starts at level 1. No gold, no gear, just you and a rusty stick. If you played seasonal ARPGs before, this is old hat. Think of it like a galactic spring cleaning for the economy. But if you're new, it's a shock. Imagine grinding for months, only to hit rewind. The upside? Fresh competition, a level playing field, and all the new goodies we're about to talk about. That's why they do it. It keeps the game alive. Now, this isn't just a sprinkle of new quests or a bug fix patch. These devs have a pattern. Small updates tweak things, maybe nerf an overpowered skill or toss in a quality of life feature, but every few months they drop a bombshell. This is one of those. It's a meta shaker, a balance changer, throw your old builds out the window kind of update. New ascendancies, new loot, new ways to play. It's why they're resetting everything. You'll need to start fresh to experience it because the old server, that's staying static, no new toys there. So let's break down what's got me excited, and maybe a little worried. Top of the list, new ascendancies. They're teasing a couple, and one's got my attention. A rugged fighter type rocking a massive axe and a chunky shield. Think slow, heavy hits and tanky vibes. Subclasses in this game are huge. They're not just flavor, they reshape how your base class feels. Maybe your speedy rogue gets a poison dagger specialist, or your mage picks up a time-bending trickster. If they give every class a new option, say 3 or 4 total, that's a build crafting explosion. And here's the kicker, this game lets you mix gear across classes, so picture a healer swinging that axe or a berserker hiding behind a shield. It's chaos, and I'm here for it. Next up, gear. They're dropping some unique items that sound wild. One's a shield that boosts your defenses and ties into a rare resource. Let's say it's Vitality Essence, making your skills hit harder the tougher you are. Another's a helmet that amps up your dodge chance but cuts your armor slots in half. High risk, high reward. There's a two-handed hammer with insane damage, but it slows you down to a crawl. These aren't just stat sticks, they're build definers. The catch? The drawbacks are brutal. That hammer might tank your speed so bad you're a sitting duck, it's a gamble. Some players will break the game with these, others will just break their keyboards. Skills are getting love too. They're adding support abilities. Think modifiers you socket into your main attacks. One might turn your fire blasts into icy explosions, stacking cold damage on anything that normally burn. Another could trigger mini volcanoes when you smack bleeding enemies. Messy, but awesome. There's even one that boosts your damage if you're hurting yourself, then heals you up after. These are perfect for shaking up the endgame where builds were getting predictable. More options mean more creativity, and I'm betting we'll see some insane combos pop up on day 1. Speaking of endgame, that's where the real meat is. They're expanding the progression tree. Think of it like a giant skill web for late game content. More paths, more choices, maybe more points to spend. Right now, it's a bit stiff. You're forced into boring nodes just to survive. If they loosen that up, we could see weirder, funner strategies. But here's the controversial bit. They're tweaking these random challenge zones. Let's call them spire runs. They're linear, grindy slogs right now, and the plan is to stuff them with big events. Bosses, treasure explosions, the works. Sounds cool, right? Except spires are tiny. Picture an epic monster swarm crammed into a hallway. It's like hosting a rock concert in your closet. Great idea, bad venue. I'd rather they turn spires into boss gauntlets with rare loot than this halfway fix. We'll see how it lands. Alright, prediction time. My crystal ball's out. First, I'm calling a new class. They've hinted at a nature-themed druid forever. Think shapeshifting into a bear or a hawk. It's been in the oven for ages, and this feels like the patch should drop it. Second, a dexterity-based spear thrower. Fast, stabby, perfect for the reset hype. Third, a new endgame gimmick. This game's late stages are thin compared to its predecessor, which had wild mechanics like cursed portals or endless dungeons. I'd bet on something fresh, like timed rift races with stacking rewards. They'll roll these out with each reset to bulk up the full release. Early access is a sprint, and they're pacing it smart. So what's the takeaway? If you're still grinding, awesome. This resets your chance to flex on a fresh server. If you're burned out, take a breather. Hundreds of hours in, I get it. Sometimes you need a break. This patch will be worth the wait though. It's not just new stuff, it's a new game feel. The meta's shifting, the builds are evolving, and the community's about to explode with hype. I'm pumped to dive back in, theory craft some nonsense, and probably fail spectacularly on stream. It's the ARPG life. Okay, let's talk about the ripple effect. This reset's gonna light the community on fire. If you've been in the forums or hanging out in streams, you've probably felt the buzz already. Vets are theory crafting like mad, plotting builds with these new subclasses and skills. Newbies, they're either hyped or terrified. I've seen posts like, I just hit level 50 and now it's all gone. Don't worry folks, it's a rite of passage. The beauty of these resets is the chaos. Day one, you've got thousands of players racing up the leaderboards, trading junk rares for scraps, and screaming about RNG. It's a mess, and it's glorious. I'm betting we'll see some wild launch events too. Maybe speedrun challenges or prize pools for first to end game. The devs love stoking that fire, and I'm ready to watch the madness unfold. That's the rundown. Mid-March is coming fast, and this update's shaping up to be a banger. Spires notwithstanding. What do you think? Hyped for the reset? Got a dream class or item in mind? Drop it below. I'm dying to hear your takes. If you're still playing, keep slaying. If not, rest up. This one's gonna hit hard. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you next time when we're all level 1 again, screaming at the first boss. Take care, and happy grinding.